Greetings, Goddess, Body, Mind, Spirit community. This is your Goddess Guru, Tyra Omilade, here to share a word of inspiration with you on your path to self-realization and self-mastery. Today is February the 16th, 2018, and I hope that you had an awesome solar eclipse in Aquarius, and the moon is in Pisces today. So if you're feeling a little relaxed, a little sleepy, that may be why. What I want to talk to you about today is something that came to me yesterday. I think it was yesterday, and I keep hearing I need to tell you all this, okay? So one of the things that my godmother is adamant about in her sharings with us is that we are here to remember. Peace. Good morning. I got your message, Mama. I got your message yesterday. I was just on the go. But so here you go. Let's see if this works. All right, Kwanubian. So one of the things that my godmother says is we are here to remember. Okay. We are here not to learn necessarily. Yeah, we learn. That's part of the human experience. That's how we come here and basically learn how to survive, understand our cultural norms and mores, and that's part of our faculty. When we think about sabek, that part of our faculty is built in because it's part of how we survive. It's part of, don't touch a hot stove again. We need these kinds of things so that we can learn and operate as in human form. But the things that when we're thinking about this spiritual path, and it just makes me think about like the discussion I had the other day about initiation and just thinking about how people are searching. It's just the whole spiritual thing, way that we do it doesn't matter, religion, no religion, all that kind of stuff. The key thing is we are here to remember, okay? We are here to remember the truth of who and what we are. There is no, I've got to become something as if it's not there. I remember listening to one of my teachers talk, and my teacher was saying, and I've talked about this before, when we come from that place of feeling like there is a deficit, there's something missing, we have to, like there's something we've got to, like, I don't know, that we're not perfect. And so we've got to fix it. Yeah, there are things that we need to fix, like, wrong thinking. There's things that we have to fix, like thinking I am Tyra Omilade when actually I am the divine consciousness in body and form. So we come to remember. And this is how I feel people are called into a particular path. So for instance, I mentioned it's a calling. This is another reason why the path is not going to be revealed to you all the time before you get into that thing. But let's think about Ifa, because that was what I was talking about the other day. It doesn't need to be revealed to you. Everything doesn't need to be revealed before we get there so that people can use their rational mind like, well, I see what they're doing. I don't know, blah, 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 all that kind of good stuff. No, the call is within us. And part of opening and remembering is taking leaps of faith that will land us in that spot where our power is more open. So we are here to remember. And you see how I put it in the title, RE-MEMBR. We want to put together the pieces of ourselves. Now, I do believe that we can be fractured in our experience. I think this is why we continue to have, we continue to reincarnate. We come and it's like we get lost, and so our consciousness gets fractured, and we start thinking I'm not part of the great one divine consciousness. And when we leave out of a lifetime, with that, we've got to come back and fix it. This is part of why we continue to reincarnate. This is why we give thanks for our lives, no matter how crappy sometimes it seems they may be, no matter how hard times get, we give thanks because the lifetime is an opportunity for us to be able to come back and bring balance where we left out without balance. And then the other thing is, we have these gifts that we are imbued with, that we choose before we come into this existence. And so this is another reason that we come. We come so that we can express through these gifts. And this is why sometimes we're like, I don't know how I know how to do this. I don't know why I have this inclination. It's because we're remembering. And I'm asking you to fully remember and to do it without apology. The world does not dictate to us our destiny. The world can't live out your coming back here to fix something. Okay? You must do that. And so the more we let the world dictate to us, oh, you can't do this or you can't do that, or, that's not how it's done. Woo. I just say, put the hand up. Put the hand up. Tell them, as a good Christian say it, Satan be gone. Satan, get thee against behind me. Okay? So we get fractured and then we have to keep coming back here because we're coming back to remember the fractured pieces and parts of ourselves. We want to put them back together again. Remember the totality of the self and then operate from that place. And this space-time continuum, as I feel it, is sort of like just sort of weighs in on us. It's all this pressure that we can feel on ourselves to be, do, act a certain way when the inside of us is saying, but this is who I am. This is how I roll. This is how I flow. In my studies of the Metanetter, there is a netter named Ausar. So in the Metanetter, there's these deities, and they are on a tree of life. And the tree of life, it starts at the bottom and then it works its way up. And so at the top of the tree of life, though, is Amen, the great divine consciousness. And right underneath Amen is Ausar. Ausar is the enlightened aspect of ourselves. Okay. Another name that you might hear is Osiris. And Ra'un Nefer Amen tells the story of Osiris, or Ausar, excuse me. Ausar was was the ruler in this great land of Egypt. And these are metaphorines, is how it's called. I just put metaphor, but it's metaphorine is how he describes it. It's a story that speaks to a particular story, not necessarily saying these beings were alive, but this is how, we teach spiritual truth. So Ausar was the king. Ausar is enlightened, and the entire land of people, they were enlightened. They, people operated from their higher selves. There was no fracturing going on. They were not operating from their lower faculties. Okay. And so, Ausar wanted to go and check out the kingdom, needed to go to another part of the kingdom. So Ausar told his brother Set to be the leader in charge while he was gone, because he wanted to go out to distant parts of the kingdom. So Set, his brother, was a party boy. And Set, under his rule, folks started partying, having a good time, operating from their lower faculties more than their higher spiritual selves. And, you know, things creep in when we're operating from that place. We know these kinds of things, you know, greed and folks backbiting and gossip. And we know how that goes, don't we? And Ausar comes back and he's ready to take back over the kingdom. But Set was not having that. So Set killed Ausar and cut Ausar's body into 14 different parts and dispersed them around the world. Well, Set's wife or sister, Set, and her sister went around the world looking for these different pieces of Ausar. She wanted to find all the body parts. Another name for Set is Isis. That's a name that's sort of common. And they went around finding all around the world looking. She had devotion and just complete and total devotion and commitment to finding these different, his body. And she found all 14 pieces and remembered them, except for one piece, his phallus. She remembered them, put them all together, and buried his body underneath a body of water. And she conceived a child, and this child is Heru, also known as Horus. Well, Horus was guided by his father through his father's wisdom, because Ausar, now underneath the water, he, well, not necessarily Ausar, but we could see it as like that part of ourselves. I refer to it as Ori, that speaks to us. And so it was through this, this water, or, he would counsel Heru, who was going after Set, trying to get back control of the kingdom. And Heru, using just like trying to use brute force and, fight and all that kind of good stuff, he could not beat Set. He would beat Set, Set would beat him. He would beat Set, Set would beat him. So it was a, what do you call it? They came to a place where it was stalled. I can't think of that word, but you know what I'm talking about. No one had won, no one had lost. And so what Heru did was he took Set into the court of law and instead followed the wisdom of Tahuti, which is the wisdom. And that was how he beat Set. It was through wisdom. That's the full story. But that part about the pieces of, and this is why I said this is a metaphorine, a story for us to use to understand how do we operate. So our consciousness through our lifetimes, it gets fractured, it gets wounded. Even in this one lifetime, we become fractured, basically dismembered. And that's called forgetfulness. And we have to have that devotion, that part of ourselves, that set part of ourselves that goes and finds all the parts and puts them together. That's our spiritual practice. This is why it's not about religion. Pick what you want to do. But is your religion causing you to be so faithful and devoted that you will do your spiritual practices day in and day out so that you can put the pieces of yourself back together again? And this is why I have learned that my ancestors my teachers typically say, before we teach you, how to be a priest or priestess, why don't you go sit down and see if you remember how to be a priest or priestess? Huh? That's my point to you. Yeah, I want to, am I buffering or is it just you, Quanubian? Because I thought I saw glitches, but yes. So we need to go and sit. And meditation. This is another reason why meditation is so important, because we can begin to hear from who we are. It is about putting the pieces of yourself back together again and operating from your wholeness. Okay? Stop feeling like you've got to learn a lot and go more into remembrance. Now, at some point, yes, I might pick up a book. But typically what I find is when I pick up that book, it triggers a memory of some sort. It triggers a deeper understanding. And so our spiritual practice is really about helping us to get out what is in us. Now, we do need to get rid of the junk. We need to get rid of the trash. But we need to get rid of the lies. We need to get rid of the conditionings. But the other thing, especially when we're thinking about stepping into our spiritual power and into our truths, is we do the spiritual work to pull out the truth, to unveil what's there. Like, I really don't have anything to put into you. My goal is to share in a way where your consciousness gets tapped and you got it. You don't even need me because your re is so powerful. This is why we need our spiritual teachers. They will challenge us to continue to grow. But a true spiritual teacher, as I see it, will be like, baby, you don't need me right now. You don't need me for every little thing. Doesn't even want you to be latched onto them like that. And we might have our times where we're a little more latched on than others, you know. But a true spiritual teacher wants to provide the energy and the touch that will open you to your own truth. There's not a lot to pour in, but it's more about bringing out the beauty, the wonder, the glory that we are. If you think anything else, then we know we've got to like unveil, peel away the lies if you are experiencing anything other than that. Okay? So that's what I wanted to share with you all today. We really and truly, we are here to remember. Okay? We are here to remember. Yeah. You're not here. There's nothing that can be poured into you. The only thing that really matters is that you remember. And once you remember, there's no stopping you. Because see, you know how we say, I say this sometimes, when you know that you know that you know, nobody can make you doubt yourself. Nobody can tell you any differently. Nobody can shake you about who you know you are. When you know, there is no moving you. And this is why remembering is so important and why the fear tactics that you use are so good. You know, if you don't really know and someone knows you don't know, then they start using fear tactics to keep you right where you are, to keep you from remembering. What if we all remembered and started operating from that place? If 10% of the population did that, 10% of the human population said, you know what? I'm awake and I remember. This place would be on fire. I do believe we're headed in that direction. You know, this is the beauty of Aquarius. I give thanks to Aquarius for giving us the vision, for giving us, you know, the downloads and the insights that help us to remember. When you get something weird and crazy, don't say to yourself, man, what's wrong with me? Why would I think something like that? Well, why wouldn't you? Maybe you're remembering, okay? So sometimes the most far out crazy thoughts, yeah, that's the powerful thoughts, okay? So that's what I wanted to share with you all today. I'm grateful for Aquarius. Aquarius just got me just tapped in and tuned in and all that kind of good stuff. Pisces is coming up. So let's see what's going to happen with Pisces. Let me tell y'all something. With Pisces, I'm going to need y'all to get up and do a little dance, a little bit more All right, I'm going to need y'all to dance during Pisces. You are most welcome. I'm too happy that this message came to me. A lot of times things will come to me and I won't remember them, but I just kept, I even thought, what was I supposed to say? And it came back. And I thought, oh, yeah, I need to make a video. And I didn't make the video, and then it came back. So we give thanks to the deities, the divinities, the ancestors who say, we will not leave you without a word. They stand tapping at the door of our consciousness, saying, we are here and we will share everything with you. Just gotta wake up. And, you know, I'm going to say this and I'm going to get off. I think about the movie The Matrix with Neo. When he was hooked up to the machine thing with all the wires, and then he pops up and says, I know Kung Fu, or I know Judo, or whatever the martial art was. And he gets in there and he's just going with Morpheus. That's us. Isn't that exciting? And that's the gift of Aquarius. We can hook ourselves up to our consciousness. See, Ausar is part of ourselves that lies beneath the surface of this physical reality. And is giving, tap, 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 tap at our consciousness. And Ausar is not like, you know, a lion. Is not like it's not like a thunderbolt that's just going to come through. Though through the Orisha, we can have those times of the thunderbolts coming through and hitting our consciousness, and we just, in that moment, I am awake. We can have those moments, but typically, Ausar is like this: tap, 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 tap. You lose this thing, or you feel ill at ease about something. There's a contradiction. You feel one way and somebody is telling you no, 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 but you just feel ill at ease. You can't accept it. That's just your Ausar, your Ori, just tap, 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 knocking at your consciousness, saying, look, listen to you within. Listen to me within. One of the things that I say in my rituals is me and my Ori are one. Let this mind be in me, my Ori. All right? Because I want my Ori to lead, guide, and direct my breath, my footsteps, my thoughts. I only want to be one with my Ori, my Ausar. Tell me what to do, Ori. Tell me what to do, Ausar, as you tap, 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 tap at my consciousness, never giving up on us. Our Ori is here. Your Ori is here for you. My Ori is here for me. Just for you. That's how wonderful and special you are. But this is who we are. Okay? So as you hear that tap, tap, tap on your consciousness, just know when you open the door is remembrance of your power, of your glory, of the truth. I love you all. Please like the video, share the video. After you get off the video, listen to the tap. Open the door. Remember the truth, the glory, the wonder that you are. I wish you an awesome, amazing day. May the abundance, the glory, the majesty, and wonder of the Orisha and the Mother be with you now and always. Excuse me, let me say it this way. May you remember. May you know, experience, and embrace for yourself the wonder, the glory, the blessings of the ancestors and mothers, because it's there. It's already there. You say you want it. Open your hands. Open your hands and receive what you say you want. Don't just say you want it. Put yourself in that place of receptivity, all the abundance, all the remembrance, all the awakening. Put yourself in the position to receive it. All right. If you need divination, if you need, I do a little astrology, please let me know. GoddessBodyMindSpirit.com is where you can request a reading. I would be so honored to go to the oracle on your behalf. Thank you all. Love you. And see you in the next video. Peace.